So besides that, because I want to get into your
Mm,
background a little bit, because it is about your personal experiences, I guess, how they inspired this collection, and like how you said, where half of your background is not in
mhm,
America, in Paraguay, and then the other is very American, right? You said your mom's Pennsylvania, very American, in my opinion, anyway. So how? Because I guess like I feel like there are so many people who can relate to that on the
mhm,
fenceness, for lack of better words, of like kind of your tutoring. You don't quite fit 100% on either
mhm.
side. You're becoming like your own version of that, joining the biracial and it's also tricky, and that's just like Hispanic, it's like people who are like
Mhm,
half
mhm.
Asian or half, I don't know, like half Russian or half Southeast Asian, whatever. These other parts of the world where it's still two cultures coming together, and the person, the result of those cultures, like it is tricky kind of finding
Yeah.
your place. If that's where like what you need for like your identity, it can be really tricky if that's what you feel like you need. So I want to like dig into that a little bit and explore that a little bit, because like how you said, using different
Mm.
languages, and you used the indigenous
Yeah, yeah.
language, right? Some words there, which I thought was like, I didn't even think of that. And so it's so that's like a revealing too. And it makes it, I bet, just like another layer to your, I don't know, self-discovery, trying to figure it
Yeah.
out, things like that. I want to explore that, and how you manage to just navigate that while putting this
Yeah,
collection
for
together.
sure. I think about that a lot. And I've had a chance recently to talk with some folks about it. Just this idea that anybody who has a hyphenated identity, like you were saying, regardless of where in the globe we're coming from, we inherit kind of half of our baggage and background from one parent, half from another. But at least for me, the way I exist in the world isn't like half of the time through Spanish and a Paraguayan lens, or half of the time through a white or Eurocentric lens. It's all of that all the time. And on the one hand, I think that can be empowering. Where was I? Oh, I was at an event at a college here in Chicagoland, and a couple of the Q&A portion that circled back around to this, where we were talking about, okay, I'm not like half Paraguayan American and half Pennsylvanian or something like that. I'm
Yeah.
Latino. I identify as Latino, and I'm also white. And for someone like me, that is clarifying, as much as it is a little muddling, though, because I also have to like, it was important for me as a person and also in the book to not downplay that part of my heritage, because it has informed how I move through the world, as much as I have also been like called to my face with malicious intent, like names other than Diego. Juan is a
Sure,
beautiful
yeah.
name, it's very powerful, it's not my name. If you call me that knowing that's not my name, there's some sort of motivation there, not and so though, then in trying to unpack some of this in the book, is like being honest about the fact that whiteness operates on a lot of different levels. On one, it's interpersonal, and like you were saying, like in the winters, yeah, I get pretty pale up here in Chicago, and I look pasty white, right? I look, well, I guess, whiter than during the summertime when I get nice and tan, and just that people might think differently based on what time of year they see me. But the reality is too, though, that the whiteness is also operating on these bigger levels, even like the levels of language, and the extent to which I try to work that into the book or even ask those questions. It gets tricky too, because I didn't want to turn it into a like a treatise or a manifesto, that's for sure. But I think what that meant was I had to find moments where those two things came together.